And then you got to try to plant bombs in their base, and there's an A bomb and a B bomb. Each are 35.
Wow.
So if you get both A, B, that's the 70 you need, and you win. But then there's also a third bomb that's harder to get to, and it has a wider time or a longer timer.
And then the snitch coming around.
No. Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 275. That wasn't even me. That was a bugle off camera.
It was a tiny little bugle
say.
We hired a person who stands off camera, and he just plays a heroic bugle whenever we start the podcast.
But it's really small. That's why it sounded tiny.
We recently arranged the budget for Team Joystick, and we said that's what we need.
We several live band instruments.
Bugle guy.
Yeah, that's why we don't have the microphones on the table yet.
Because bugle guy.
Yeah.
We got to pay a salary somehow. We started him off at $72,000 a year.
Yeah.
So.
You know, labor laws.
Because that's the kind of company Team Joystick is. We look out for the little guys. But that being said, welcome to the Joystick Show. It's going to be a fun one. Can you believe we're here after 275 episodes?
No.
Not me.
Wow.
Not me.
We're here, though. We're
That's
here.
consistency for you. Make sure to go ahead and like this episode. Feel free to subscribe to your boys because it makes us feel grandioso, like the apartments and Arc Raiders. I didn't mean to say that. I've just been playing that game a lot, and I promise I'm not going to talk about it for the rest of the episode.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
You know what I do want to talk about at the beginning of this episode?
What?
And let me clock my phone so that I can. I actually wrote some notes down so I could stay on track. There we go.
Wait, did we skip over the mumbo jumbo, or did you do it so quick?
I just did the mumbo jumbo.
But no, you didn't point to the thing. You didn't say it's going to be next to me right here. This is what we're talking about.
I don't say that anymore.
Yeah, he stopped doing that a bit
stopped
ago.
doing that.
I didn't hear. I normally tick the like and subscribe meter
I did
in my
the like
head.
And subscribe.
Yeah, I know, but you did it so fast.
I know. I'm a nat 275, Dylan. We've been here. We've lived this. Okay.
We should do like a stealth episode of the podcast. I'm so sorry. Like, we're just like in like a museum after night with the thing.
I like it. It's like one dim light. No, I stopped doing that. I thought it was more natural to just kind of like talk and have the thing pop up next to my head while I'm, just talking about something
like
else.
That.
And then, it goes away naturally. So there you go. But what I did want to talk about to start this episode was I watched the new show that I'm really excited to talk about. I watched Marvel's newest show, Wonder Man. Okay? Let me set the scene for you here, okay? They didn't really announce this show at all. There was no heavy marketing for it. It kind of felt like, in my opinion, Marvel had it made, and they're like, just put it out. You know what I mean? That's kind of the feel I got. So that being said, going into it, I fully expected this show to be mid. But, I'm a Marvel fan. I go into it. I enjoy the most of it. It's how it works, right? Pleasantly surprised. A lot of people are already talking about how this is one of Marvel's better shows, and I have to agree. It's fucking fantastic. To give you perspective, I actually went on to Rotten Tomatoes today just to get a perspective for all of like the shows ranked, based off of the critical consensus. And taking away any show that was on that list that wasn't animated or wasn't one of the original Netflix series like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, it is the third highest rated series, even higher than Loki, but it's under WandaVision, obviously, and Hawkeye. Which are 1 and 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Under Hawkeye?
Yeah. Hawkeye was very good. Yeah.
I think I saw like 2 episodes and then I was like, nah.
And I think one of the reasons why this is even more impressive in Wonder Man's case is because Wonder Man is a Marvel Spotlight show. So Marvel came up with the Marvel Spotlight banner last year when Echo came out, which in my opinion was kind of a forgettable show. But
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly. The whole point of Marvel Spotlight shows is they're very similar to like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, whatever, except you can watch them without any knowledge of the rest of the MCU. They're like standalone shows. And they're kind of cool because you don't really need to have any real other information about fucking what the Avengers did however many years ago. You can just watch this series about a character going through a life thing and make it out. And that's what this show is, and it's very good. That being said, let me pull out the notes. Yes. Old Hollywood appeal, it's amazing. It kind of, if you're a cinephile or you love movies like I am, I will admit that's where a lot of the bias comes from. This is the show for you. The show is about the main character, Simon Williams, who is not a struggling actor. He's a working actor, but he's struggling to find his big break. So you'd probably relate to it a lot. It's him going in and out of auditions. He loves theater. He's very passionate about acting. And the show is written really well. There's some really like deep monologues to the point where you kind of forget you're watching a Marvel show. It really feels like, I'll get to it in a bit, but the best way I can describe it is this show feels like you're watching a regular television show that just so happens to have a superhero in it. That make like the superpowers and the superhero stuff isn't even that important in the series, honestly.
So I'll love this, is what you're saying.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, so you're saying I'll like this.
Part of the appeal of the movie thing is there's this cool meta thing going on. Also, this will be fairly spoiler free. There is one thing I want to spoil a little later on, but I'll get to that and I'll put the alert on and everything. But kind of the meta thing of the series is Wonder Man is an actual Marvel character, an actual superhero, which I just described to Jerry earlier. He's a man made of pure ionic energy. He's very powerful. He has super strength. He can fly. And I really like how the series displays his powers because it shows like whenever he has emotional outbursts, you'll see his skin start to like wave, like there's something moving in him, and then objects around him will start to move as if like an earthquake is happening. And based on how big it is, it could be anything as small as like a couple pens on a table to like cars and buildings. Like it's really fucking powerful. And there's one scene in particular in the show that really displays the like how crazy his power set is, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, put that motherfucker in Doomsday or Secret Wars, because oof, I need to see him fight like Hulk or Sentry. That being said, the powers are really cool, but also, like Dylan mentioned, it's not the focus of the series, right? But he's a struggling actor, and he's trying to get the role to play Wonder Man. So he like already has the powers. He already technically is Wonder Man.
But he's also trying to...
But Wonder Man in this series is a superhero that, you know, it had a movie about him. So it's also like this meta thing of how superhero movies are perceived in the Marvel universe itself, right?
Interesting.
And then there's also this really cool connection thing that I felt. I think the series actually opens up with a scene of him as like a 12 or 13-year-old child going to the movies to see the original Wonder Man with his father. And it just really like struck a chord for me because it just like I saw myself 12 years old in the theater watching like Iron Man with my dad. You know, he got me right out of school and he's like, we're going to check this shit out right now. So it just felt very like it felt like me, you know, like I'm kind of this artist too. His whole thing is he gets in his head because he wants to be perfect or he wants things to come out better than they are, and everybody else is just telling him like, just say the words, just do the work, you're good at it, right? But it's a really relatable show. Also, speaking of the characters, Ben Kingsley, that's really all I gotta say. Ben Kingsley's the fucking GOAT.
I mean, once you get Ben, I mean, it's over.
I don't know if you've seen Iron Man 3.
Yes.
The Mandarin. He comes back. He's the same character. He's an actor also trying to get a role in the Wonder Man movie. That's how they meet. There's some other stuff at play there, which I won't spoil, but when you check it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. But the guy's phenomenal. Also, what I really like, there's a couple references to, not really references, there's cameos, not from other superheroes, but from real-life actors. So, like, Josh Gad is in the series. Ashley Greene is in the series. In one of the first scenes in the show, Simon, the main character, is going to an audition and he bumps into Ashley Greene and he's like, oh, I loved you in the Twilight series. So I'm like, all right, Twilight exists in the Marvel universe, right? The show also has like this really wholesome and heartfelt kind of vibe to it where, again, you kind of lose the whole superhero Marvel aspect and you really kind of find yourself rooting for these characters. Like, you're like, man, I want him to get the role and I want him to do well if he does. Like, he's really that endearing of a character that I think he's going to be a favorite in the Marvel universe pretty fucking fast. The acting, cinematography, I said it before, but I'll say it again, the writing, all on point. I thought it was a really easily digestible show, 8 episodes, 30 minutes each, and they did something they'd never done before where they released the entire thing in one day. So we binged it in one day, and I'm glad that I did because it was fucking good. The last thing I will say about it is, or not really, but the last thing I'll say about the good stuff is what I wanted to spoil. So, bing, bing, there it is. Whoa! I just wanted to spoil one episode in particular that's called Doorman. I think it's the 4th episode in this series. But earlier in the series, there's a moment where when Simon Williams, a.k.a. Wonder Man, is going in for an audition, one of the people at the front makes him sign a waiver called the Doorman waiver. And he's like, okay. And then the guy jokes around and he says something like, you should be fine as long as you don't have superpowers. And then he laughs and he's like, yeah, no. And he gives him the waiver. So, it's just kind of this weird thing. Like, what's the doorman waiver? And then episode 4 is this really cool episode that's shot completely in black and white and is actually a prequel to the series that explains the life of a lesser-known Marvel superhero named Doorman, who has the power to like phase through objects and phase things through him.
That's just funny.
So he finds out about his power and he uses it for Josh Gad in a heist movie. So his whole thing is like they need to escape from a vault, and he like phases through and he's like ding dong, and it's a hit. Like he becomes an overnight sensation. But the thing is like he's only known for that stupid ding dong thing.
That's it. That's really fun. I was even gonna make a joke that I was like, damn, like I know it's because they're like iconic comic book characters, but it's always like a dumb name. It's always Spider-Man, Superman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Man. And it's always like a dumb thing. And now there's Doorman. Like it's almost playing into the joke. Almost. Yeah, it's very funny.
So they're explaining kind of the life of this guy who got his superpowers, used them for fame and fortune, and then very quickly it went downhill when people started to make fun of him for the joke. When the joke got stale, you could kind of see where it's going. His agent is like, it's not working out anymore, whatever. And then the show kind of ends with the climax of Josh Gad calling him up, and he's like, bro, they're making a sequel to the heist movie. We're getting the gang back together. You back in? And he's like, yeah, for sure. But at this point, he's been like drinking heavily and he's not feeling well. So there's a scene where like they're throwing the bags through him so that they go out of the car, like they're stealing an armored car. And then Josh is like, all right, I'm going through. And as he like jumps through him, Doorman like vomits and Josh Gad disappears. And it turns into this whole like, where did Josh Gad go? People are having like candlelight vigils for him. Like there's even like the marketing for this show, if you've seen it on Twitter or Instagram, there's like jokes like Josh Gad has gone missing after filming Cash Grab 2, which was the fake movie from the show. But point is all of that to basically set up the fact that they put a law into effect so that superheroes couldn't be actors anymore. And that plays into effect where like not only is this guy struggling to be an actor, he's doing it illegally technically. And there's also this aspect where like people are looking for him because they know about his powers, yada yada yada. But it's very good. And to end it, I'll just say I wanted to really come up with criticisms for the show because I'm not gonna lie, I just kept saying really good things about it, and to the point where even I was like, you gotta find something.
Right, take the goggles off.
But if I'm being honest, I think the only criticisms I could find were reasons other people might not like it. And for that, I would say it doesn't feel anything that you've like, it doesn't feel like anything you've seen in the MCU before. It's very unique. So if you're watching it hoping you're gonna see your typical like action superhero fights, not for you at all. And then again, like I mentioned, the Marvel Spotlight thing, it doesn't hold any connections to like the broader landscape, minus the inclusion of Ben Kingsley's character and another character that's been in a couple movies before. But other than that, I think that's the only reason somebody might watch it and be like, oh, I didn't like it because there's not a lot of action, or oh, it's more like heartfelt. But that being said, Bobby seal of approval, 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece,
10,
in my opinion.
It's a 10 out of 10.
We need like a 10 button.
Wonder Woman.
The original Wonder Woman, like with Gal Gadot,
it
was actually pretty good. I'd give it like
10 out of 10.
No, it was like 8.5.
Yeah, of course.
The second one was fucking. That's like a 6 out of 10. That movie. It's
I heard.
bad.
I haven't seen any of the Wonder Womans.
We need a
First one was
10 out of
pretty
10
good.
button.
The first
I don't
one
know
was
how we.
actually
I don't know how we do it,
surprisingly
but
very good.
we just need a button that's like 10.
Yeah, I know. 10. I'll put a graphic
Exactly.
up. You know.
Yeah. It's not a button.
I started doing a thing where now, like when I talk about the thing, I drop down the cover of it, and then when I say the number, it fades out under it. So maybe when I do the 10 fade, I could do it's confetti. Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah,
I'm
like
workshopping it. Maybe
That's
I'll
fun.
figure it
Can
out.
we just AI it?
No, you cannot do that.
I feel like people like Marvel shows that aren't like superhero genre though. Like I feel like that was why people liked
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
I
It was
loved
like,
WandaVision
It was like
'cause of
sitcom
that.
style,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden it worked into.
But like I said, since WandaVision connects to the broader landscape, you know, characters. You've
Yeah,
known
by
before.
episode 6, it's referencing all this other stuff, which is
Exactly.
good. It like did both, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
Really cool.
But it's
I'm
a
gonna watch
good show.
I'm gonna watch
I'll
it.
say that. We just clock the time.
I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch
You're
it.
gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch it.
You should.
It's on
watch
Disney Plus, I'm assuming.
It is on Disney Plus. All 8 episodes are available to watch.
Cool.
How long is each one?
About 30 minutes.
Turkey.
Oh, wow.
Turkey.
You know what I also did? I got fitted for my tux today.
Yeah.
Same. So did you also do that?
Yeah, he was
Jerry
like, "Oh, I
did
just
it.
helped out
My
Robert."
brother.
Yeah, this Hispanic guy with the
Yeah.
glasses, his little brown cardigan, fucking chilling. I wish I remembered his name, but I'm not that good with people skills.
Mhm.
So,
I gotta do that tomorrow for sure.
yeah.
You're good as long as you do it within the week.
It was fast, right?
Yeah, it was like
fucking in and out.
I already had my sizes from like earlier in the year. So.
That's what helped me. Well, actually, the first time I went, not for this time, but when I went for Georgia and Mitchell's wedding, the guy completely fucked up my sizing. Like, I don't know how, but like, I'm like, and I worked at a suit place. So I walk out and I'm like, you gave me this on this measurement, and he gave me
worked at a pants place.
Hey, I sold the suits.
I sold a couple jackets.
I sold the, no, I'm sorry. Like, you know,
You were the jacket guy?
I was the full. So I'm going to a wedding in a week guy. You know,
better than the jack off guy.
Yeah.
I was so confused when I went because I thought there was a guy that looked like Mitchell, but he was like taller. I was like, hold on a second, is that him or is that just somebody that looks like him?
That's the homie Mitchell. Man.
The homie.
I already miss him.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was still in DR with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's so like. I don't know how to explain it. He's touchy, but in like an endearing way, you know, like he'll grab you and he'll be like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Big brother energy, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shout outs.
Yeah, every time I come to, no one's more excited for this than random family members I barely know and Bobby's parents. Yep. That's who's most excited about this wedding.
You know,
people who are closest, I think they're just keeping, you know, they're keeping the anxiety down. They know what's up, but then everyone else is like, ah.
My mom is like woman excited to the point where like every 2 days she's like, "It's coming up. You know? You ready? You excited?" I'm like, yeah.
My mother's just like, "I want to see. It's probably gonna be so beautiful."
But what's funny is my dad is just guy excited. So like every 6 days he'll just ask me what the date is again. So he'll be like, "What's the date again?" I'll be like, "April 18th." He's like, "All right, just make sure." And then 5 days later, he's like, "What's the day of this wedding? April 18th, right?" So
I'm actually quite excited about it because there's a lot of people from Greece who are coming, which is going to be fun because now where I live, there is going to be like 18 people. Not an ounce of English is going to be spoken, and it's going to be a fantastic time.
I could probably learn Greek in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard.
This is Nicole's first wedding, and I was like, "Ever? Like, you've never been to anyone?" She was like, "No, this is my first wedding." So
this is my first time being a part of a wedding.
Yeah, this is your first. Yeah.
Aside from being just like, you know, not the flower boy, but I think when I was a kid, I was a little.
You were involved.
I wasn't the ring bearer.
You weren't
I think
the trapeze kid?
You walked down.
Yeah, they just kind of sent kids, and we were like,
yeah, they do that sometimes. You send like the flower girl, and then you're like children.
You have children for yours?
We had a no children policy for a while, but now we're like, you know, people have kids. Like a lot of people just recently had kids, so we said, hey, you know, if you have a fresh baby or something, then
you shouldn't be bringing a fresh baby.
No, you know what I mean. Like if you have a baby that's like you can't get that thing.
Like an aged child.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they give babies the plates.
Toddler is the word, maybe.
I saw a video of a bride and groom. They said, "Now clear the dance floor for the bride and groom," and then a bunch of kids are like grittying on the side in the camera video, the wedding photo. You see?
Yeah, so you were trying to avoid situations like that. It's not really like pre-planned. It's more of like the first like couple of hours of the wedding are like 18 things that are planned, and then you can have fun at like the end of the night. You know what I mean? But the beginning is gonna be like, oh, we got to be here. Oh, we got to be there. Oh, take a photo. Oh, you got to angle your leg this way for no fucking reason. Oh, it looks better in the photo when it really doesn't. But you know, it's gonna be fun.
What's the name of your photo guy again? Andre or something like that?
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's actually it's gonna be him and another guy.
Let's go, Andre.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
I don't know how to describe it. Let's just say he looks like one of the normal Baja men. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, cool guy.
Got you.
Yeah.
You said Baja Man. I'm just thinking of the guy from Hawaiian Punch on the can.
No. Those are the musical group who recorded "Who Let the Dogs Out," which is not about dogs.
Yeah. Which also is not their song, but also people don't know the origins of it.
I learned that like last year, I think. It was like one of those videos. These are songs you didn't know were covers. So, oh, shit.
But it's also not a cover. It's like a Mandela effect kind of situation of like, did this song always exist? You know what I mean? Like
I
people
don't know what you mean.
Oh, okay, yeah. So people believe that Who Let the Dogs Out goes back to like the 70s or 60s at least.
Okay.
Because every time they found the original version, people would find an earlier version from a former artist.
Huh.
So the Baha Men covered one guy who covered another guy who then took one part of one song who took that from like an Austin, Texas football chant or something.
Gotcha.
It's a rabbit hole for the ages, but I explained it in a minute.
You want a
Today
quick
I
trivia
learned.
question
Yeah.
before we move on to my next thing?
Okay.
Everybody here know MF Doom's famous rap snitch Knishes?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you know what band's live performance the guitar sample was taken from? I'll give you a hint. It's one of my dad's favorite bands.
Wait, what?
Paramore.
Yeah.
What's one of your dad's favorite? Like,
Their lead singer is also an actor.
not the Mars Volt.
And
Not
the band is named after the singer.
The band is named after the singer.
Wait.
Paul.
Wait, am I stupid? I'm stupid, right?
That's
Do
not.
you know
the
many
name.
bands named after the singer?
Bon Jovi. Like that's all. But literally in my head, it's Bon Jovi, and I know
The blank band. Put a guy's name there.
Steve Miller,
The
the
The Dave
Jackson.
Matthews
All
Band.
Allman Brothers.
To give you credit, that was probably the second closest one you got to be. Yes, Dave Matthews. It was from a song that they performed live.
Nice. Oh, shouts to Dave.
What I actually did want to talk about is another song, not by Dave Matthews.
Not by Rap Schnips and Dishes.
No, like I did mention upstairs, I wanted to talk about something that you showed me back in high school.
Oh,
That I recently showed my girlfriend.
why did you do this? I need to figure out what video this is now. Cause
I don't know why I did it. It honestly just kind of jumped into my head, and I was like, Mildred, have you seen this? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So we took 11 minutes, and I showed her the entirety of Too Many Cooks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, because when you told me upstairs, it was either Too Many Cooks or 5 or 6 Doors.
Oh,
those
yeah.
those were the only two in my
I
head.
gotta
was
show her that too as
boom,
an
boom, boom,
actress,
boom,
but I
boom,
feel
boom.
like she would go short circuit if she
Yeah.
saw
What
that.
did she think about Too Many Cooks?
That's a great question, Joey. Because after those 11 minutes were up, she was mad at me.
Mad?
Yeah.
Why was she? I mean, it's a trolly video.
No,
but
she was like upset that I showed her that. She was like, "Why?" I was like, "Why?"
It's
She's like,
funny. What do you mean? Why? It's
Not,
fucking
hold on.
hysterical.
Not only is it funny, I was just curious as from an actor's perspective, because not only was it funny to me, I was just amazed with it, how it was filmed and how it kept going, and I was like,
fucking art,
who
bro.
thought of this?
I will
At a
say-
point, it's art.
I will say after we let it settle, we were actually able to have a decent discussion where I shared some of my points to why I actually kind of do enjoy Too Many Cooks. It's a fucking creative ass video.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a really
very
also the mystique of it just being made and then dropped one night randomly on Adult Swim at like
Right.
3 a.m. or something.
And I don't know if you guys have seen any of the other ones.
I saw the video game. one.
There's like a streamer video game
I've
one.
seen
And
that.
then
Yeah, I've seen that
There's a
one.
few, and they're all fucked. They're
I should
all
just call my parents.
That one's really meta. Like, you would actually like it. It starts with like a streamer, but then like the game he's playing is like another person's life, and it just becomes like this meta.
He's streaming a game within
And then
the
it
game,
becomes-
and then that game
Yeah.
and
gets
then
streamed
and
from
then,
within
and
the
then it
game.
becomes a commercial at one
Yeah.
point for like a window company or something like
It's
that.
like-
It's really cool.
It's like
Huh.
that Too Many Cooks stupid humor if it was
Right.
translated to like
Video
streaming
games.
Let's Play jokes. It's just kind of funny. But yeah, it's like a really creative video. I
Same
love
show.
I love the part where like the chick kind of breaks out in the slasher fucking killing part where she's like running but she still has the glowing title in front of her. There's the part where like the titles are the actors
Yeah.
and then the people are the titles and they're screaming. They're fucking the clipped
It
audio.
just subverts expectations at one point. You have the superhero spinning.
So actually, it's funny you bring that up because me and Mildred were watching something where somebody had to spin, and she was like, "What if they just spun like 12 times?" And I think that's what jumped into my head, and I was like, "We gotta watch
Yeah.
Too Many
Oh, okay.
dun 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 dun. I just love how the music quickly fades away, and it's just her footsteps, just fucking. Oh man, it's a ball even to this day. So shout outs to Too Many Cooks, and shout outs to the people who made it. Because they make some funny
Yeah,
stuff.
shout out to
There
them.
was Tatiana was really into it. There was one of those Adult Swim shorts where it was like a town that was like sinking in on itself, and then there was a story on Adult Swim's website that continued with like home footage and like pictures. And,
ARG, nice.
And everyone was like, this goes deeper. Like, the creator made that skit for Adult Swim, and he was like, I'm not done with this story. I'm just... And he created a lot of lore, and it was like people were trying to figure it out. I'm curious as to how further it went, because I stopped. But it was really creepy.
Fine. Swing into the video game realm, because I want to talk about a new game that just came out. A game that just got updated, that Jerry played the update for, and I haven't gotten a fucking chance to play the update for. It's not Fortnite. It's High Guard.
Yeah, I've only seen gameplay. I've not actually...
I only seen the gameplay from the Game Awards.
So I'll say my piece, and then Jerry can say his piece, and then we'll say a couple more pieces.
Piece.
You know, one thing I will say is, you know, when the Game Awards came out and this was the final trailer, people were up in fucking arms. People were very upset, quick to compare it to Concord, that game that barely was even a game, you know.
The new punching bag.
Well, Concord was the sad one because it was like so much money went into it. That was like the whole...
Right.
Jeff Keighley was like, you know, wait on it. You know, this game's going to be crazy. The game came out. Every streamer under the sun played it. And then the next day, nobody was fucking playing it, right?
Yeah.
Let me say my 2 cents. First and foremost, when I found out who was making this game, I knew for a fact that gunplay was going to be fun. There was no doubt about that. I knew I had some questions about what kind of game it was going to be, but I knew right from the start that the gunplay at the very least was going to be fun. It's the people who made Apex Legends and Titanfall. So, you know, not to mention those were also the people who made like Modern Warfare 2 from Infinity Ward back in the day.
Right.
I didn't really know what the game was going to be. From what I saw at the Game Awards, I was expecting it to be like your typical hero shooter, kind of like an Overwatch or a Marvel Rivals type deal. And then when the game launched, we saw what it was, and it's very weird. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
At the time it was a 3v3 first person shooter. Each team gets a base that you have to protect. What I thought was actually cool is you can actually pick the base before the map starts, and they'll have their different kind of like pros and cons.
Yeah,
so like
I saw this. Yeah.
There's one base that has like a big sniper tower if that's how you want to defend it. There's one that has it's more like maze-like if that's how you want to defend it. But shit like that. It is sort of a hero shooter in the sense right now there's 8 characters you could pick. Each one has its own little move set. You get a passive ability, tactical, ultimate. And there's guns that you can find. They also add like this looting element too. It's called the gear up phase, which some people are also kind of voicing their concerns about. I'll admit, I think it's a little boring.
I mean, I'm always a fan of just like either having the loadout or like even the Counter-Strike like store kind of thing. Even that bothers me a little bit. Like I just want to have what I have.
It's funny. There
I mean?
is an economy system too, but it isn't like the funny thing about the game is it's not necessary. It's just another resource if you want to use it. The best way I could describe it is this, Dylan. Let's say this circle right here, this table is the map. Okay, this is me and Jerry's base, and that's you and Joey's base.
Yeah,
right?
I know the base part. I understand the base part.
When you leave, right at the start of the game, you get like a minute just to secure. You get like 4 to 5
walls.
I
see.
Stuff like that.
Rainbow Six
But
Siege.
after that minute, there's like a minute and a half gear up phase where after that you can get on your horse or your bear or your panther, whatever the fuck you ride on, and you can go explore the map. And then there's like actual POIs that you can visit.
I see.
And those POIs have chests, and so there's an actual looting component, and that's how you get armor and better guns and amulets that give you powers.
So you can't just
yada,
run
yada.
in and start firing.
You could.
Oh,
You start with white guns,
Right.
but there you could also find better loot, like better guns. Even like the legendary guns have different abilities. Like there's a revolver, and then I found 2 gold versions of it, one that shoots double shots and one where it's a full auto. So you
Right.
could find like guns with modifications.
Could you
and stuff
loot
like
other
that.
people? Like if you
No.
kill the enemy? Oh,
You
no.
can't do that.
What you could do is you could run to their side of the base and loot their stuff before
Yes.
they do.
So there's that element, and then basically what happens, a giant sword is forged. It's called the Shield Breaker. And
I saw this.
The bases are covered by these shields, so the whole aspect of the game is you have to be the first team to get the sword, bring it to the enemy's dome, and then break through. And then the bases have like a health bar. So when you do that, it goes from 100 HP to 70 HP.
Yeah, and then you got to do it.
And then you got to try to plant bombs in their base, and there's an A bomb and a B bomb. Each are 35.
Interesting, wow.
So if you get
Yeah.
both A, B, that's the 70
Yeah.
you need, and you win. But then there's also a third bomb that's harder to get to, and it has a wider time or a longer
And then
timer.
the snitch coming around.
No. But if you blow up that bomb, it just game over. So basically, you could either go. It gives you the freedom or the flexibility to go about it how you like it. That being said, my opinion of the game is I actually think it's pretty fun, and I think it has potential. And I think it's not fair that it received some of the hate that it got. I think if you want to give it hate for like the type of game that it is or the gameplay, you're completely fine in that. But if you're going based off of like the trailer from 2 months ago that barely even showed anything, don't talk to me. What I will say though is I think I kind of know what happened with this game. Remember when Apex came out and nobody fucking knew at all? Like, we were hanging out that day, and I think Jose was like, "What's Shroud playing?"
Right,
and we were like,
right.
"What the fuck is this?" And granted, they did the same thing where they, told Shroud, "Hey, play this game all day," right? But it fucking worked. And I think part of the mystique was nobody knew it was coming out. It was just this crazy surprise. Everybody was like, "What is this game? It looks kind of fun. It's free to play. Let's try it out." And I low-key think what hurt Highguard was Jeff, but to a larger degree, just the marketing around it. I think the game was overhyped. So that being said, I like Highguard. I don't think I'm at a stage where I could really give it a number ranking or I could really say anything about it. I've played like 4 matches, but I do want to play more. And like I mentioned earlier, they added an update where they added the player count, they added some extra settings. But what do you think, Jerry? What's your take?
I think it's similar. I think the problem with it was like the marketing, like they kind of like I think that the devs had the same idea as they did with Apex, where they wanted a shadow just to shock drop it. And I think that Jeff kind of like spoiled it a little bit for them by like giving them like a super high visibility spot for it.
Not to mention, there's also the Ubisoft thing where people were speculating that Ubisoft was supposed to have that final slot.
That was like a whole thing. Like Ubisoft, like they canceled like half their games. They're doing like big layoffs. So people are like assuming that they had the last spot for the Game Awards and they just dropped out because their game wasn't going to come out or something like that.
And they were like,
and Jeff was like, wait, this game is really cool. Do you guys want this spot? And he just kind of threw them into it. And
that did harm.
Yeah. I think the 3v3 is like it's kind of like anti-casual, where like it makes it more competitive because everyone has to have like a role,
Yeah.
But I think so they have like a limited mode that's like 5v5, which is like more like there's more
Kill
chaos.
people,
yeah, right.
It's like an arcade mode.
Exactly. So like people can do kind of whatever, and there's just like more happening at the same time. So I think it makes it more casual friendly. Like personally, I think it's more fun that way. Yeah, I had more fun. I played one game before we came here. I thought I was having more fun than the 3v3. 3v3, I was like, this is too like rigid, like people are gonna come up with strats, like.
Yeah.
But 5v5, you can't really plan with 4 other people like as well.
That sounds cool. It sounds fun, and it's funny that you say that. With it being 3 players, it's more competitive because I can immediately be like, all right, I'm going to play this character that does this. We're going to do this. And if just one person is slacking, then it kind of fucks it up for the whole team.
You think like a battle royale where it's like, if you start the game and one guy just flies off, you're just like,
dude, the first fucking game Jerry and I played was like excruciating.
Me and Bobby are just going to, doing what we're supposed to do, and this guy just going,
shoo. To give you perspective, because you don't actually get to see your stats until the end of the game. I think I took a picture, or I may have taken a picture of another one, but it was like the same deal.
Yeah.
I think either Jerry or I had 20 kills, the other person had 18. The other guy, our third, had like 5 kills. So this guy was doing just not what we were doing. But what's annoying about it is, like I mentioned earlier, there's the whole shield breaker component. So you grab the sword and you go to the base. This motherfucker would be the first person of the sword, and then he wouldn't take it to the base. So Jerry and I are doing all the work, but we don't even have fucking control over when we could start the raid, because this guy jacks the sword and he doesn't know what he's doing, and we're like, bro, just go.
And then I bet he was like, bro, my teammates aren't killing anything. I'm fucking carrying.
Then there's one part where like we finally get into the base, the raid starts, and they have like this thing where like you could defend the base too, and if you successfully defend it, then the raid stops, and there's another phase where you could try to get the shield breaker again and raid their base.
Okay.
And basically how it works is like you have lives. I think it's 6, and then once you lose all of them, the raid ends or whatever. But like I mentioned, if you run out of lives and you die, you spectate other players. So me and Jerry both died, and this fucking guy is just in a corner, like not even playing the game. And I'm like, dude, can we fucking try at least, man?
Yeah.
That sounds
but Jerry brings up a good point, especially in the 3v3 aspect. If you're not going in with a third, just like the RNG factor of who that person is could drive you bananas. Because it's at least different with a game like Marvel, where you're going in with a team of fucking 6. But sheesh. That being said, I do like it.
I'm glad you explained it, because I was watching a lot of streamers play it, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you're shooting each other, but then there's I was like so confused.
And you ride a horse.
And you do ride a horse.
ride
It's
a
pretty cool.
Or bear.
I'll show you upstairs.
I'm a
It's
bigger
fun.
guy.
You name your horse?
You could do it out of the game, so that when you call it, you could say it. It makes you feel cool. Yeah. What do you write? You're writing on a bear, right?
I have a panther.
I still like the horse.
Can I write a turtle?
I want a dragon. That's what I want. But
they have like a griffin.
You're gonna name your turtle. I know it.
But that's enough daydreaming. Let's move it on to the jam and the yam,
Turtles.
and the bam, and the slam of the week, shall we? If this is your first episode of the Joystick Show, we do a little music recommendation at the end of the episode. We all go around in a little circle and talk about the songs we've been listening to. The song that I am going to be choosing this week was also the song used in the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer. A song by a little known artist by the name of Childish Gambino. You may have heard of him. But the song is called Lithonia from the Bando Stone album. I don't know has anybody ever heard Lithonia?
No.
The best way I could describe it is it's a Donald Glover song you would never think he'd make. It's like it starts off oddly gospel-y. There's like some organ, and then very quickly it turns into like garage punk, and it's super fun. I'll spoil it here. I watched the music video and was not expecting the music video to be a horror, and it has like a jump scare halfway through, and it kind of got me. I was like, motherfucker.
I'll watch it.
You would like it. It's like he's performing it in a band in like a house to just like people are on the floor listening to it, and it's really chill. But then as the music video progresses, all the band members and even some of the people on the floor are getting really sweaty and their eyes are getting red. And then halfway through the song, like practically out of nowhere, Childish Gambino's eyes explode out of his head and he starts chasing them through the forest or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and it's a really cool, chill song too. So you're like, ah, da, da, ah, and I was like, what the fuck, man? But good song.
Horrifying.
Better artist.
My yam of the week was going to be the joke yam, and then I was like, you know what? Let's make it the real thing. It's Loose by Primer 55. Imagine if Limp Bizkit and Korn came together in the body of Guy Fieri. And then you also
You're telling me they're already not formed together?
Yeah, and then you also had the turntable guy from Linkin Park.
Oh, okay.
That's what this band is. They're like rap rock, but it's like the Memphis scene, so it's like weirdly goes hard for no reason. Yeah.
Sorry to break a tangent, but I was recently watching the music video for In the End. You know, you've seen it, the terrible CG, all that shit. Yeah. But I couldn't help but notice the DJ guy who's putting in way too much physical effort for DJing. Like, the best way I could describe it is there's parts in this video where it feels like he's running from one deck to the other. Like, they're right there, but he's like...
And it's so funny because that's like the one song without any turntables really in it, and all the other ones are like all over the place, but that's the one that isn't.
Yeah. But you know, that's an eternal jam. Mm-hmm. That's what we need to come up with, a word for a song that's like a jam in all of ours, you know? Like the M. It's an M.
It's just M.
It's just a masterpiece. My slam is gonna go to a band called Sports, and the song is called Drama King.
It's a good band.
I liked it.
I know this band.
I got it on my Discover Weekly because it's like, you're listening to a lot of blood cultures and synth. Maybe you'll like this. And I fuck with it. It's cool.
My band of the week is gonna be off the A$AP Rocky album.
Of course.
I was about to pick that A$AP Rocky album.
I haven't gotten through it, but there's like an R&B-ish song with Brent Faiyaz on it.
That's a good song.
Stay Here for Life.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
I want you to stay here.
I'm probably like 3, 4, 5 songs into it, but I'm working my way through.
That's one of the better ones, I will say.
Yeah, love me some Brent.
I was about to pick punk rocky.
Yeah, punk rocky.
Yeah, but I remember that's what Jerry picked.
Yeah,
that's a good one, Jerry.
Been listening to the Don Toliver album too. It came out today.
Okay, I'll pull up. All right. Thanks, Bugle Guy. It's the end of the episode.
Bugle Guy.
Fucking getting that paycheck. He's earning that shit. Thanks for watching episode 275. Some good conversation, if I do say so myself. I really spoke some words. You guys listened to those words. You responded with some words. I listened to those words, and I responded with more words. Speaking of words, if you want to like this episode of the Joystick Show, feel free to do that. You could also subscribe to us. It's real easy. If you're watching on full screen, you go to the bottom right, click out of full screen, you scroll down like fucking half an inch, and you hit the subscribe button. It'd be super fine and dandy of you. And stick around for episode 276. Guess when it's gonna come out? Next week. Bet you didn't see that one coming. But from all of us here, fucking be cool, be nice,
Stay in school.
And fuck ice.
Okay, bars.
That rhymed. That rhymed. That rhymed. That rhymed.